What's up, YouTube? Frank Diddy here. Gonna be talking about the Green Bay Packers' embarrassing loss to the LA Chargers, 26-11. Honestly, I don't even know where to begin. Like, I really wanted to live stream this and give you guys my instant reaction after the game, but I decided not to, because I caught a headache from the entire frustration of watching that game, and I just decided to wait till later and upload a video instead. So here you go. With the loss to the Chargers, the Packers fall 7-2. The score doesn't really show just how one-sided this game was. It was just an absolute ass whipping by the LA Chargers, a team that had been struggling coming into this football game. I knew, man. Listen, if any of you guys are subscribed to BlitzSportsNetwork.com, you catch me on the podcast. It's Monday or Tuesdays, and listen. Last week I said this. I said that this would be a trap game. Out of all the games on the schedule, this was in the top three games I was most concerned about. I didn't care what the Chargers' record was. I didn't care if they were struggling coming into this game. I didn't give a shit. I knew that this game was going to be a trap game. Why? Mainly because, listen, we don't play the Chargers much. But when we do, Philip Rivers shreds us every time. Every time. He always plays his best football against us. It doesn't matter who we have. This is a completely different defense than the last, with different guys than the last time we faced the Chargers, but it doesn't matter. Once again, Philip Rivers absolutely picked us apart. He does it every time. It does not matter when we play the Chargers. We don't play them that much again. But every time we do, we get absolutely shredded by Philip Rivers. Shredded. So I already knew that was going to happen coming to this football game. This Packers team, in my opinion, are a bunch of frauds. They really are. You can't be 7-1 coming into this game and just go completely lost, unprepared, and get bullied the way they did. The Chargers finished the game with 442 total yards, and Packers just a measly 184, with 11 less first downs, and the Chargers ran 19 more plays while dominating time possession with over 35 minutes. So you look at this Packers team, and let's start with the offense. The offense, especially the offensive line, was trash. They just couldn't get out of their own way. The first few possessions, they got caught with a few first false start penalties. So we were constantly just moving backwards. How the offense, there was no way the offense could really get it going at any point, because the drives will always start with us losing yards, either by penalties or just by a bad play call. So the offense had no chance to get into any type of rhythm whatsoever. They were just getting completely manhandled by the Chargers defensive front. Brian Balaga, David Bakhtiari, two of the best tackles in football, they were getting bullied this game. Bullied. They just, like I said, they just couldn't get out of their own way. Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram had great games going up against us, and Rodgers was just under pressure the entire game. The Chargers didn't have the blitz because they were winning the battle up front with just their front four. They could drop the rest of the guys in coverage, combine that with the offense full of guys who struggle to win one-on-one coverages without wide receivers, makes it tough to move the football. Aaron Jones wasn't effective this game. He got bottled up early, and we was not able to use him effectively at all. He got bottled up, and we really didn't try to run the ball that much anyway. Didn't really use him that much in the passing game either, which had been a key the last two games, but absolutely nothing here. Other than Devontae Adams, none of our wide receivers had good games. Aaron was missing some throws. Alan Lazard, he made the best out of his targets, but you see the weakness in his offense. If you really watch this Packers football team, the offense goes through Aaron Jones. It really does. You take Aaron Jones out of the game, and you don't allow him to beat you by running the ball or catching it out of the backfield or down the field, we pretty much have nothing. We can't beat you with anybody else. Adams was out. If Devontae Adams was back, yes, he was. But you can see the sinkiness of him and Aaron Rodgers was sluggish. He's been out for over a month, so the connection wasn't completely there yet again. And Devontae Adams is out there playing at only about 70% most likely, leaving us with virtually no threats on the offense. Yes, we have Aaron Rodgers, but against the Chargers defense, he was ill-effective and again pressured and hackled majority of the game. So the Packers ended the first half with only 50 yards of total offense. How the fuck do you expect to win games like that? Like I said, this team is fake. Frauds. They don't deserve to be in first place in the North coming out playing football like that. I know some people might say, well, some teams, they have their down weeks. You're not always going to play at your best football every single week. I know that, but go look at that game. That's not how a 7-1 football team coming into this game should be coming out playing like. I'm sorry. So there was just absolutely no offense. No offense this entire game. None. If we don't get Aaron Jones going, our offense is pretty much at a dead stop. And you saw it. You saw it. You saw it in this football game. You slow down Aaron Jones, we have nobody else in that offense that can beat you. Nobody. Jamal Williams had an okay game, but excuse me if I feel like punching his ass in the face when he gets up and he's fucking signaling first down while we're already down. What was it? I think we were already down 19-0 late in the third quarter. This dude picks up a first down and he gets up fucking signaling first down. Motherfucker, can't you see it's late in the third quarter and we're down 0-19? What the fuck are you signaling first down for? You need to be rallying and getting back to that line of scrimmage and in the huddle to call the next play to score some fucking points. God, I hate it when guys in the NFL do that. I hate it when they do that, man. It's like you have absolutely no fucking, just no awareness of just not realizing the fucking situation you're in. You haven't moved the ball all game long. And that offense just kept coming out there on the field every goddamn time with no sense of urgency. Just the team was just absolute trash all around. Special teams was awful again. We did. The Chargers got a block one our punts. They turned that into points. And as usual, we don't get much out of return game. Like, it's just, the Packers just continue to be garbage on special teams year in and year out. It is amazing how this doesn't matter. How we come into the season every year being one of the worst teams on special teams. So I'm not even gonna waste my time on that shit. Let's get to even more, and let's even get to even more bigger problem. The defense. The defense was no better. Like I said, every time we play Phillip Rivers, he shreds us. He carves us up. So that was to be expected. Well, I was already expecting him to throw for a lot of yards this football game. I already knew it was going to happen. You knew they were going to give up a ton of yards in passing. We didn't get much pressure on Phillip Rivers. He had plenty of time to throw that football behind an O-line that had been struggling coming into this football game. Another area the Chargers have been struggling is their running game. Coming into the game, the Chargers had not ran have not ran over 100 yards as a group in weeks. And of course, it would take the Packers' garbage run defense to fix that, allowing 160 yards total. Melvin Gordon, who had not had a good game since coming back, had his breakout performance here, 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. With Austin adding 70 more yards. The Packers' run defense is terrible. They can't stop shit. It's bad enough they led the league. It's bad enough this defense leads the league in more plays allowed for 40-plus yards. But they're one of the worst. They are the worst run defense in the NFL. It's unreal watching this defense continue to struggle in both those areas still. That run defense is trash. Those guys up front, Kenny Clark, he hasn't been doing shit since like week 3 or week 4. He's not making his presence known at all on that defensive line. Blake Martinez, I'm sorry, but he. I don't care if he leads. If he constantly, consistently leads us in tackles. Watch the way he goes out there and plays. He is a terrible linebacker in coverage, and he got ran over. And he got and listen, Blake Martinez. I'm telling you, it won't surprise me one bit if the Packers don't re-sign him. We need some better linebackers, man, but especially on the inside. Blake Martinez is not the guy. I like him, but he's not the guy. If you really watch him how he plays, again, he is terrible when he is absolutely terrible on pass coverage. He's a downfield linebacker. That's all he is. So we just have no bodies up front to stop the run, and we're absolutely weak inside at linebacker. That is no surprise that we have the worst run defense in the league. It doesn't matter what team we play, no matter who it is behind it, it just doesn't matter. Anybody can run on that Packers defense. It doesn't matter who the fuck it is. Again, the Chargers hadn't ran over 100 yards in weeks. But of course, it would take our garbage ass defense to fix all those problems. All those problems the Chargers had coming into this football game, protecting Phillip Rivers, not being able to effectively run the football. It would take going up against our garbage ass defense to fix all that. What was the point? What was the point in investing so much in the defense this offseason? We spent a lot of money and invested a lot in the draft to get better defensively, and we're still garbage. I hate watching these bums every week just get run on by no matter who the fuck it is. Just run down our throats. And every time I blink, they're giving up another big play downfield. God, I hate this defense, man. I absolutely hate this defense. And sure, some people might say, "Oh, they made some stops in the red zone." I don't care. That doesn't mean they had a good game. Just because they made some stops in the red zone doesn't translate to anything. All it means is that the Chargers didn't score more points than they should have. That's all it means. They were still moving the ball with ease. Ease. You can take that bend but don't break defense mentality and shove it up your fucking ass. Shove it straight up your fucking ass. This entire team was absolutely garbage in this football game. Worst game of the season by far. There are absolutely no positive things to take away from this game. None. Nobody played good this game. Nobody. Rodgers played like shit. Aaron Jones got shut down. Other than Devontae Adams, nobody did shit in the passing game. Jimmy Graham could take his old ass and get the fuck out of Green Bay. Tired of watching that guy. And all the rest of these bums at wide receiver. We don't have we sit there and wasting our time investing so much into this defense that we left nothing for that offense to work with. We don't have no weapons on that offense. Because in our stupid ass GM, Brian, was thinking he comes after the Raiders game. He's like, okay, I feel better now. We don't need to make a trade of wide receiver after the Raiders game. What now? You fucking idiot. What now? You still think we still shouldn't have traded a wide receiver? You still think that? You fucking idiot. So now we gotta sit here and go the rest of this season with Aaron Rodgers only throwing the ball to Devontae Adams and a bunch of nobodies. We don't have nobody in that offense that can hurt you. Nobody but Aaron Jones. You shut him down, our offense is pretty much lifeless. Lifeless. And it will only take going up against garbage defenses like the Kansas City Chiefs to make it seem like this offense is good when it really isn't. On the defensive side of the ball, all they do is just give a big play after big play and get absolutely run on, stepped on. Investing all that money and draft picks on the defense, and we still keep getting haunted by the same shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck that we're still in first place in NFC North. I don't give a shit. Look at the rest of the schedule. We got the Panthers next week. How the fuck are we going to stop Christian McCaffrey? We're not. How the hell are we going to stop the Niners from their running game? And Jimmy G? Short answer again. We're not. This team is a bunch of frauds. No business being 7-2. They should be 2-7 as far as I'm concerned, coming out playing the way they did. Outplayed, outcoached. We got our asses whipped by the LA Chargers.